What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. As y'all know, there's been a lot of drama going on with Xscape and SWV. I mean, to be honest, Xscape got enough drama going on between themselves. All right, but SWV actually came out and did an interview on the Sherri Show with Sherri Shepherd. In that interview, they actually addressed some of the drama that ended up happening because Sherri brought up the fact that when it came to doing the concert with Xscape and who was going to headline the show or if they were going to co-headline and all of that stuff, there were a lot of ruffle feathers in that conversation. Things definitely got heated between the two groups. Things got heated between Xscape by their goddamn self, like I said. So the first thing that was addressed in the interview was the fact that Sherri, basically, she works in the industry. So she was like, you know, normally these conversations are had between management. Normally they come together, have a meeting of the minds, start figuring things out. And SWV chimed in and said, yeah, in the footage you see our manager is present in the meeting. However, Xscape did not have any representation, no official manager to represent them in that meeting, which comes back down to the division that exists within Xscape as a group, because each of them are their own entities. You have Kandi Burruss, who I would imagine has her own team, her own management. Tiny, who has her own team, her own management, or maybe she's managing herself at this point in her career. Then you also have Tasha and Tamika, who have their own issues, their own problems. I don't know who represents Tamika, but of course we know that as far as Tasha goes, her husband or her guy, whoever you want to call him, that guy Rocky, he would definitely be known as her representation, but he's not the one that's able to speak on behalf of the whole group. So there was already an issue when it came to the negotiation process between the two groups' representation. So the second point that Sherri brought up in the conversation is about the show itself. SWV said that there was just a little bit too much disrespect that was going on and that they couldn't get on the right page. So she asked them if they even regretted doing this show with Xscape. And to be honest, it looked like they all unanimously kind of have regrets about doing the show. I think that they probably enjoyed the fact that they were able to put SWV back into the conversation, back into the public. However, they said that their experience in doing the show was not anything like what they were expecting to encounter, right? They wanted to come back together. They wanted to relive the 90s, give people some nostalgia, get back touring and moving with the group that they came up relatively close with in that time period, do some women empowerment, go out on stage and, you know, have a fun time with people that you think that you like. And unfortunately, the recurring theme that seems to come up in this interview is they say it can't be about one person. It can't be about one person that's trying to pull you down or somebody that's trying to basically one-up you and try to like downplay or degrade your value in order to pump theirs up. Now, in that situation, I think that they're definitely talking about Kandi. I can't confirm or deny that. They didn't say her name specifically, but that would be the one person that's in Xscape who definitely has said some things to kind of demean or devalue SWV in a certain type of way. And they made it perfectly clear that they will be sidekick to no one. They said, we are nobody's sidekick, okay? We can come in and do this as equals because both of our names are on the TV show, so why wouldn't both of our names be on the headlining bill, right? We're not below y'all. We're not trying to be above y'all. We want to come in and do this on equal planes because that was basically, from what I can tell, that was their understanding in the beginning. However, as the show progressed, as filming progressed, and as feelings, personal feelings got involved, it became a storm of its own. When the conversation of a tour was discussed with Sherri, they reiterated the fact that it has to be respect. It has to be equal. We're not playing the background for anybody. And unfortunately, I think that is going to be the problem. That's going to be why they can't get this tour together. They may do the one-off show, but it just seems like too many lines have been crossed. One thing that I did note going into some of my previous videos about this whole thing is that SWV has put out records pretty recently. They've been touring pretty recently. They've been touring, you know what I'm saying? So even without Xscape, SWV is going to be okay. SWV is going to continue to work. SWV is going to continue to do everything that they've had in their docket. Yes, working with Xscape and the reality stars that are in their group amplifies the attention, probably drives the price up, gives them more coverage for what they do. But with or without it, I think SWV was going to be perfectly fine because people all over the world will pay them good money for them to come out and showcase their talent. They're trying to hold a little bit of hope because they would like to do it for the fans. Ultimately, that would have been the benefit from the jump if everybody would have just looked at it from a big picture perspective. However, when you have 7 women, you know, trying to come together for a cause, each person's going to have their own opinion. Each person's going to have their own idea of who's more valuable, who's not, who's doing this, who's doing that. Egos collide, representation can collide, and as SWV marked early in this interview, they felt like Xscape didn't have a solid foundation on the representation end. It seems like each member of the group represents their own entity, which means that you don't have one person representing the collective to relay messages back and forth. Each one of them is operating on their own agenda, which definitely can cause a lot of issues when you're working with other people. They can't even seem to get it together among themselves. So how can you possibly get it right with another group, or talking about putting a tour together, or talking about all of these different business ventures where everyone is not on the same accord? And they made it abundantly clear to Miss Sherri that we gonna do tours regardless. If nothing happens with Xscape, we going on tour. So don't get it twisted. The calls are coming. The emails are being sent back and forth. If y'all want to play, we can make this a play together. If not, we going to keep this thing moving. Ain't no dust going to settle under our feet. So the bottom line here is that Xscape may have very well played themselves, right? As a group. Again, Kandi Burruss is going to be fine. She has Real Housewives and everything under that umbrella. She's got multiple shows. She's got Kandi in the gang. She doesn't have to sing. Maybe she shouldn't be, you know what I mean? Maybe she should just focus on being a businesswoman, being a reality TV star, being an executive producer, all of those things, and work that out. Tiny, I mean, she's always going to have a magnifying glass on her just due to the man that she's married to. Unfortunately, the Family Hustle got canceled off of TV, but I'm quite sure at some point they'll be able to revamp that show or revamp something like it. She still has one foot in the game as far as reality TV is concerned. But as long as T.I. is still out here doing shows and running businesses, they have multiple businesses and things of that nature. Tiny's a businesswoman in her own right. She doesn't need to sing either in order to make a living. Now, as for LaTocha and Tamika, I don't know what's going to happen with them, right? Tasha does have a gospel album that just dropped, but she's having quite a few issues in her own solo career based on all of the results of what's coming out, the drama, the allegations, the stealing, the disrespect, the social media antics that have backfired on her throughout this whole ordeal. So I don't even know how her gospel career is going to fare after all of this storm passes through. Again, I feel like Xscape as the group, not as the individuals within the group, but just the group, played themselves out of some very good opportunities. And with the amount of distaste that SWV seems to speak about this situation with while trying to keep it classy and keep it cute at the same time, I'm curious if they would even bring this show back for a season 2. If the money's right, I guess they would. They didn't really address that here, but I'm curious to see how they're going to be able to move forward with Xscape as a collective unit. Let me know what you guys think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right? Peace.